Here we go, the first sermon of the year, which is also going to be the first joke of the year, hopefully not the last. I heard about this man who went to a monastery. And in that monastery, you were allowed to say only 2 words per year. So a year goes by, and it was his turn. He comes to the master of the monastery, and the man says, "Food sucks." No problem. Next day, he started to be served the most amazing gourmet food for the rest year, for the next year. Second year, his turn to say the 2 words comes. And he says, "Bed hard." No problem. Next day, he has the most amazing 5-star hotel's quality bed for him. Another year passes, and it's his turn to say the next 2 words. He comes to the master of the monastery, and he says, "I quit." The master said, "You know what? I'm not surprised. All you've been doing for 2 years is complaining." I want to talk to you today about don't quit. Don't quit now. Don't quit now. Because you are so close to the goal. Please don't quit now. And I'm telling you this, and I will tell you the story of how I thought about this in a minute. But I'm telling you this because usually when we come to Rosh Hashanah, the idea that we have is Rosh Hashanah is a time for new beginnings. That's what rabbis will tell you. Rosh Hashanah is a time for new beginnings. But it doesn't mean that every time when you come to Rosh Hashanah, you have to quit whatever you do and you have to start again. Not at all. Not at all. Because I understand that sometimes things do fail and we have to start all over again, but not always. Not always. In fact, most of the time, I will say, we don't have to give up. We don't have to quit. We have to stay in the game and we have to keep moving forward. And this is a funny thing because you never know where I will, so to speak, hear the voice of God telling me what kind of message to bring to the congregation. This one came to me in the middle of a spinning class. I was in my basement at a bicycle. I have this subscription and I do these online classes. And I was pedaling. I was about to close the segment. And then I hear the voice of the trainer saying, 15 seconds, don't stop. And then 10 seconds later, he said, stay there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reduce the resistance, you can relax. And then it hits me. It hits me. Why will the trainer do that every single segment? To let the class know that we are 15 seconds closer to the end because it's human nature to quit just before the end of the goal. And trainers know that. And then I guess we are lucky that they can let us know when we are 15 seconds closer to the goal and then when we are 5 seconds, so we won't quit and we will complete that goal. We will complete that segment. But then I was realizing that most of the time, we don't have a trainer next to us everywhere we go to remind us that we are 15 seconds closer to the goal, so we have to keep pedaling. Life sometimes doesn't work like that. So we have to find ways to strengthen ourselves and to remind ourselves how close we are to the goal and how much hard work we've been putting so far, so we stay in the work and we don't quit. And it's funny because I went back to the Torah and I realized that there are multiple instances where the people of Israel quit almost at the end of the goal. The most famous of all, actually there are the two most famous ones. But the first one is when Moses said to the people of Israel, I'm going up to Mount Sinai to get the tablets of the law. See you in 40 days, right? Now, the rabbis try to understand here that when Moses said, see you in 40 days, he meant see you in 40 complete days. Since he left, I guess, midday, the day didn't count. But the people of Israel, according to the rabbis, didn't know that. So they counted that one as day 1. And then when day 40 came, Moses wasn't there. They quit. They built the golden calf. And then I was thinking, come on. There was nobody there. They didn't have any brilliant mind to tell them that maybe there is a different way to count 40 days. That maybe they should stick around a little longer. That maybe they should wait an extra day because maybe they miscalculated. They didn't have anybody to remind them that. Wouldn't you stay an extra day? Wouldn't you extend your hotel staying for one more day to see if Moses comes back? And I'm pretty sure they did have those voices that said, no, you know what? Maybe we are miscalculating. You know, we left Egypt. We went through so many things. We shouldn't quit now. We should wait an extra day. No. Human nature. They quit at the 39th day. And the day after, what happened? Moses came back. They were 15 seconds close to the goal, and they stopped pedaling. Why? Because they had nobody to let them know, to remind them that they were so close to that goal that they have to still pedaling because the end is so, so close. And don't get me wrong, they learned the lesson. They learned the lesson. Eventually, Moses said, I'm going to go back to the mountain the second time. See you in 40 days. And this time for the second time, the rabbi through the Midrash said that they created strategies so they won't get discouraged at the end of the count. In fact, they said for the last day, they instituted a fast to strengthen their souls. Which day was that? The day of Yom Kippur. So they created a strategy to stay strong towards the end because they learned the lesson. We humans like, for some reason, some crazy reason, to quit at the very end. They learned it. The thing is, we also learn those lessons sometimes in life, but we forget as quickly as we learned. A few months go by. What happened? They're about to enter to the promised land. They were there. There was the Jordan River, and on the other side, the land of Israel. Everything they did up to that point, all the hard work, praying, and all the things they have to sacrifice in order to be there, all they have to do is to cross the Jordan River, and they're going to be there. What did they do? They quit. Before crossing the Jordan River, they said, we are not going to be able to defeat the giants on the other side. Let's go back to Egypt once again. But I thought, didn't they learn the lesson? You don't quit at the end. Yes, in general, in life, you want to do yourself a favor. If you're going to quit at the beginning. Don't wait all the way to the end in order to quit. But they did. And I think it's time for us to learn that lesson. That in life, sometimes we have to stay in the game, even if you don't have anybody yelling at you 15 more seconds and then counting with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have to hear that voice in our head to keep us strong so we can keep moving. That's why it's so important who is around us every day of our lives. Do you have people around you that they are going to keep you pedaling, or you have people around you that say, nah, you should quit. It's not for you. Let's do it. More about that tomorrow, about the voices that they are pushing us to quit. That is the sermon for second day of Rosh Hashanah, so I encourage you to come and listen to that message. For today, my challenge for you is to remember. 5782 was hard. Was hard. And I think if you don't think that 5782 was hard, you're probably 40 years old or younger. It was a hard year. But we worked so hard that this is not the moment to quit. This is the moment to realize that we are closer to our goal than we think. And we have to remember, God didn't bring you all the way to this point to leave you alone. Whatever God started in your life, God is going to help you to finish. To finish. And also remember, if you're always tired to starting again and again and again, you know what the solution is? Don't quit. Don't quit. Then you will never be tired of starting again and again and again. So, I don't know what your situation is. Maybe your business. Maybe your studies. Maybe your health. Maybe your marriage. You've been putting so much work into that. You've been pedaling for so long that this is not the moment to quit. It's a moment to remember that you're probably 15 seconds away from the goal. Keep pedaling. Because even though you feel that you're sweating right now, the other side is the reward is waiting for you. Shana Tova u'Metuka. I want to bless you with a sweet and happy New Year.